Is the screen on? Oh, there we are. Hello. This is the story of Adam and Eve when they were sat in the garden in Iran and they were eating various types of chocolate, various different brands. And Jesus came along and he said, "Hello, Adam and Eve. How are you today?" And they said, "Okay, Lord, we're having a wonderful time." And he said, "Whatever you do, don't eat of the tree of knowledge of good and evil things, which is in the midst of the garden." Excuse me. Need a protein mix, salt and apple cider vinegar with fava beans and yellow peas. Got to be healthy. Anyway, Jesus said, "Do not eat of the tree of good and evil, which is in the midst of the garden." Everywhere in the garden was this tree, good and evil, which did not exist, no existence whatsoever. Do not eat of that, he said, because if you do, then nothing at all will happen to you. And he said, "No, we won't, Lord, no, we won't." And off went Jesus, and meanwhile, the frog was nearby, and it was listening and remembering everything that was said. And later on, Eve was sat eating a slice of Sainsbury's bread, and she saw this frog. Oh, what a nice little frog. Of course, it wasn't a real frog. And she stood on it by accident as she walked by, very busy thinking about. And he pressed a little button on the top, and the frog, battery operated, said, "Whatever you do, don't eat of the tree of good and evil, knowledge of the fruit of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, which is in the midst of the garden." Nothing at all will happen to you, you see. So Eve threw down the bread, being so alarmed, and wondering where Adam was, being a bit scared, in a talking frog. And frogs, can give you a start if they jump on you. It was quite a shock, because it wasn't a real frog. It was a battery-operated frog, which was probably worth quite a bit later. Do well at auction. And she got the bread and imagined this tree that the Lord and the frog had mentioned, and grabbed for it. Started to eat as though the saliva was there. She was chewing away at nothing at all, fresh air. Not that fresh air is nothing at all, but as you know, it's a fictional story, and when there's fresh air at all, in fact, when any such existence whatsoever. So, then I realised far too much of nothing. Went to see Adam and told him what had happened. I thought I'd better see what happens and see what it's like. And so he also imagined this ridiculous tree and the most absurd sounding name, and grabbed at this fresh air essentially, because there was no fresh air at all. This is only a story. Grabbed the non-existent fruit and started chewing his non-existent teeth on his imagined teeth on the non-existent tree fruit, and nothing at all happened. The real Adam and Eve, of course, met with the Lord, and again and told them they'd done what he told them not to do. Excuse me. See if I can switch this damn thing off. That's it. Oh, right. Antivirus notification. And he said you'll have to go and live outside the garden near the nearby, or in one of the local villages, no doubt, because there were plenty of heavily populated towns outside the garden. And we also have to wear some clothes. We'd already put clothes on because we disobeyed the master and ate of the fruit of the tree of knowledge of good and evil. And too much knowledge, it doesn't do you much good. Too much knowledge. And off they went, fully clothed, covering the most sensitive parts. And anyhow, because they'd been contaminated by nothing at all, they went to walk into the river, one of the rivers near Iran, and one of them stood up to his neck, or her neck, in it, for a while, and came back out of the river again, and the others did the same. But they had to work hard, being perhaps hunter-gatherers, I don't know. It was very hard to get food. You couldn't just pop into the shops in the garden and buy up lots of Sainsbury's food. Oh, anyway, incidentally, the real Adam and Eve aren't really real. They're something that I've imagined having read a book about them. Right. So, as for the frog, it kept turning up later as human civilization advanced. This frog kept turning up. Maybe it was bought and sold, I don't know. Very nice. Incidentally, I don't really exist. This is just a film. Later on, when the two brothers, Cain and Abel, were born, one of them built this giant ark in Bethlehem and had to populate it with all the different animals of the earth, but because there's going to be a huge flood, which would create the English Channel. Anyway, the other brother helped him with it, but they couldn't for the life of them know or think of how could possibly get 2 penguins and 2 polar bears in the Middle East where it's 90 degrees in the shade. So what they did was they drew a little diagram of polar bears and diagrams of polar bears and penguin. But then they thought, well, may as well take them from the encyclopedia, and instead of having the real animals, they just put these bits of paper inside the ark. Huge boat, not huge boat, at least 3 foot long. So right. Anyway, made my analysis of Genesis chapter 2. Here's my dinner. Right, I better switch off. God bless everyone.